Zombie Apocalypse.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. This is 6 Scale Economist, and today we're going to be talking about the Hot Toys Ant-Man from Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, and specifically we're going to talk about the final product images that came out. So most of you already know we did see the final product images. Yikes. I mean, we asked Hot Toys to give us, more dynamic head sculpts than just this classic stern look. Not what I think people wanted. I mean, people crapped on this head sculpt when they saw the first images, and I think I have to agree with them. I mean, I don't really understand maybe it was just the lighting. I don't understand what Hot Toys is going for with this one. I mean, the two things that stand out to me is, let's call it three things. One, this doesn't look like Paul Rudd. It just doesn't. Like, you can probably, try and make your mind think it does, but that's only because you're really trying to think of what Paul Rudd looks like. It just doesn't really look like him. Two, and this one, I don't think as many people are talking about, this face looks really glossy. I think it's probably just the lighting, but, the face and hair just look very glossy, and it just looks odd to me. I think it's just the lighting, though, but some other pictures are actually worse than this one for how glossy it looked. And then three, the obvious thing, the teeth. Why? Why did they do that? It looks weird. I don't even remember him making this, expression in the movie. Sure, he smiles, but he's not smiling, ear to ear, like the Joker. Let's put a smile on that face. That's just, I guess that's what Hot Toys was thinking, maybe. I think I had one more picture of this face sculpt. Where did it go? I don't know. But yeah, this head sculpt is not doing it. I don't know why they did this. Here's a better one. Here's what I'm talking about, the really glossy one. Woof. That looks bad. That one actually looks a little bit more like Paul Rudd, though, than this one, I think. Maybe it's the angle. But you see how glossy it looks? And then it makes the teeth look so glossy and just stand out. It just looks weird. I think it's probably going to work for some people. Credit to Hot Toys, it is definitely different than we've seen on other figures. It just could have been executed a lot better. And I think it's unfortunately going to make a lot of people pass on this figure. I actually know multiple people that pre-ordered this figure and actually canceled their pre-order when they saw this head sculpt. I mean, it ain't it, Chief. That's not what we were asking for. That smile is just weird, and that's just going to look weird on a shelf. I just don't think that's going to fit in well. They definitely could have toned that down. But okay, so away from the obvious, let's talk about the actual images from, from the original announcement of it. Without the head sculpt, it looks pretty good. I'm not huge into Ant-Man. I didn't pre-order this figure. I still don't plan to. I definitely don't plan to now after seeing that head sculpt. But I have my fair share of Marvel figures. I keep it pretty tight in my Marvel collection. And I don't stray out too far into these more subdued characters. But this one was just not really doing it for me, and that head sculpt made it an easy pass for me. So spoiler alert, I'm passing on this figure. But I mean, other than that, the outfit looks good. The helmet looks sick. The actual images of the helmet look very good as well. I think it looks better than, I think the outfit. I like the outfit more than I like the Civil War outfit. Obviously right here. So this is back when they announced they didn't announce the head sculpt. So woof, a good thing they turned it around. They were really trying to pump up those pre-orders before they turned him to face forward. And the material looks pretty good. It's not like the Spider-Man material where if you bend your arm, it's gonna crease it. I think if you bend these, it's going to be fine. I think it's kind of supposed to have a little bit of a wrinkled look in places. Blurred out head sculpt. They should have just left that blurred and just sent them to everybody. They could have juiced up the sales if they did that. I don't know. From a collections perspective, it's just meh to me. It's kind of the same stories with a lot of these less important Marvel characters. If you're a big Marvel fan, and you kind of want the whole ensemble, I get it. But if you try and keep it tight like me, get, pick up pick up some Iron Mans, pick up some Spider-Mans, pick up some more like, Captain America, some of like the essential characters, and like kind of just keep it to the core. This figure is probably an easy pass for you, and after seeing these images of like the final head sculpt, I think it would be definitely an easy pass from a collection perspective. I don't need this figure. And then let's just talk about it from an investment perspective. Like, you're paying $243, so like, call it like $275 all in shipping and taxes. Like, just go pick up the Civil War one. Like, if you want an Ant-Man, that's what I would do. Like, the Civil War Ant-Man is still like sells on eBay for like a very reasonable price. Like, a lot of these like Marvel figures like don't really go like get like too crazy. Like, this one here, like $210. That, granted, that was like a good time, a good bit ago, but like even like $340, like, if you can get it for $340, no shipping, that's not like too far off from what you're going to be paying, to pick up this figure. And like, I prefer the Civil War one. I think the only thing I like more about this one is probably just like the outfit. Like, I think I just like the color scheme more on this one, but like everything else about this other one just like seems better to me. And like here's like the Civil War one. And like, look at the head sculpt that comes, the Paul Rudd head sculpt that comes with the Civil War one. Like, it's much better. Like, you don't have that like weird look. Like, it's the classic Hot Toys look, but it's fine, and that definitely looks like Paul Rudd. So like, if I had to pick one, like, I would just pick up the Civil War one. With that being said, I'm not going to pick up either. But like, from an investment perspective, like, you're probably fine just picking up the Civil War one. And like, from an investment perspective, like, this one is not going to do well. Like, this one, if you are on the fence and you don't want to, and you don't want to spend money on Hot Toys that you're just like going to lose money on, like, this is a Hot Toy that you will almost certainly lose money on. You have like no upside from this figure. Like, it's not like there's not like more like content like necessarily coming out for like this like character, like in terms of like posing it with other figures. Like, you don't really need it for like your any like type of like Marvel collection, unless you have like a Ant-Man and the Wasp thing like going down, which is like cool if you're into that. Not me. But like, it's not like you like need him to be next to like Iron Man or Spider-Man, or like you need Iron Man next to Captain America, or some, Iron Man with like Thor. Like, you don't really need Ant-Man, and that's most likely why like this figure like doesn't do that great in the secondary market. So like, from an investment perspective, like, you'd probably be like, once this figure sells out, you'd probably be lucky to get like, after shipping and taxes on both ends, both buying it and selling it, you're probably lucky to get back like 80% of your money, maybe 70%, 75% of your money. So like, there's a lot of things going against this figure, unfortunately, and I relish the fact that sometimes I have to bash Hot Toys, but like, if there was a nail that needed to be put in this figure's coffin from an investment perspective, it was that head sculpt. It was that smile. That smile said it all. That's all. I think that's all you really needed if you were on the fence, to push you off the fence. Like, maybe try and get back your non-refundable deposit if you don't really want this figure anymore. I know a lot of people are trying to like get out of their pre-orders, but like, even if your non-refundable deposit is only like $25, like, I would probably just get out of this figure. And if you don't have your heart totally set on it, you don't need an Ant-Man. It just feels like one of those figures that, how you sometimes you add figures into your Hot Toys collections, and there's some that you add, like a certain Iron Man, or like a Dark Side Anakin, or like a Obi-Wan from Episode 3 that you add, and you just, as soon as you have it, you just think, damn, I'm never letting go of this figure. Like, there's within a Hot Toy collection of, call it, say you have a good budget and you have a Star Wars Hot Toy collection of 20 Hot Toys, there's always going to be certain Hot Toys that are going to be at the top of your favorites, and there's some that are going to be at the bottom. And generally, like, as you like grow your Hot Toy collection in order to like conserve your budget, you usually start to let out some of the figures that like you don't like as much naturally. And so like, if this figure is one that you're like on the fence with, it's probably already going to start in your list like maybe in like the bottom 50 percentile, and like, it's not, it can very quickly go to the bottom. And then once it gets to the bottom, and you don't have enough, whether your constraints is that you don't have enough room in your collection, or you don't have enough money and you need to start selling figures, like, you want those figures at the bottom of your list to at least get you back retail. Hopefully, if you can do it strategically, like in some of the videos that I talk about, you can get above retail, so you can swap it out for a figure that you want that's trading at above retail in the secondary market. And this figure is one that's very quickly going to fall to the bottom in terms of like how much money you can make out of it. Like you're going to lose money on this figure. Like I'm almost certain you're going to lose money on this figure. Um, and so if this figure isn't coming into like your top 20% of your favorite figures for your hot toy collection, like it's probably not going to be a good investment. You know, it's like they say when you go to buy clothes at like a clothing store. If you don't absolutely love it in the store, like you're probably not going to wear it that much. Like when you are buying it in the first couple of days that you have a hot toy, that is going to be the time frame where you probably like that figure the most. There are some figures that grow on you, but like for the most part, that first reaction that you have to that new hot toy that you get is probably the peak that you're going to like that figure, and then it usually trickles down as new figures come in, you know? And like some figures like hold the test of time. Like for me, it's my Dark Side Anakin, or it's my Obi-Wan, or it's my Director Krennic. Like those figures are probably going to stand the test of my collection for me. But like some other figures, like I get them and I just immediately think, damn, I'm not really too hot on this figure. You know, it's already going down to like my 40th percentile of figures that I like. It's probably like, 15 out of 20. And then at that point, once it gets down to like the last like 2 or 3 figures in your collection that you don't really like anymore, that's when you kind of start thinking like, okay, maybe I should just sell this figure. It's not really doing it for me. And you want to have those figures in that when that time comes, you want it to be a figure that you can at least make your money back, if not make some money on it. This figure will not be one of them. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. This is 6 Scale Economist. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and we will see you in the next video.